When the sun go down, we run the city. Fear the angels, but the demons with me. When the sun go down, best believe it. Slang through the streets is undefeated. When the sun go down, ooh, it get wild, baby, wild, baby, wild, baby.
Don't you ever try to move me. You best salute me. It's in the bloodstream. We're feeling like a douche. The compound, the lesson, the lies, the deception, the FBI's weapons, the punishment, detention. And I just want to free you from this slave shit. So murder is the case that we're faced with.
When the sun go down.
All right, Ruthless fans, this is the final episode review until we get episode 4 this week, which is kind of weird because, I mean, on IMDb, it says we're getting the episode on the 24th, whereas on Wikipedia, it's the 26th. I'm more inclined to believe it's going to be every Thursday, but I don't know. We'll find out within the next 24 hours. But The Holy Ground, and guys, get BET Plus. For real, this show is something else. If you've had doubts, get Ruthless. I mean, oh, that's a good slogan. If you have any doubts, get Ruthless and join us. There we go. All right, but for real though, this show is something else. It really is good. I dare say the first 3 episodes had a much stronger start than the beginning of the haves and the have-nots this season. I'm just saying. But before going any further, if you are new to the channel, please take a moment to hit that subscribe button as well as the bell notification icon. That way you don't miss out whenever I post new content. Links to all my social media in the description below. If you would like to donate anything to the channel via Cash App or PayPal, feel free to do so. Every little bit helps, trust and believe, especially in the times we're in right now as a full-time content creator. Yeah, every little bit does help. And if you want to support me on Patreon, where I'm making exclusive content you won't find on YouTube, links in the description. You can join for as little as $3 a month. And for my 4 patrons so far, don't worry, now that I'm officially caught up on my Ruthless content, I will be working on Patreon content later on this week, so you have that to look forward to as well. So what we have in this episode, Ruby, aka Callie, her new name is Ruby. The children are having their wake-up call. One of the mothers, I guess is the best way to put it, is trying to comfort Ruby to her new home. And remember, Callie's new name is Ruby by the highest. So if I say Ruby, I'm really referencing Callie, not Ruby Bridges. Or is it Rudy Bridges? That was a good movie. Okay, so basically, you know, she still wants to go home. She's unsure about joining this cult. And the other kids, or the highest, because that's her new father now. And in one of the very good scenes of this episode, the highest definitely shows his many faces where he really is like, I wouldn't even call it a father, but more like a big brother to these kids, you know, greets them in the morning, you know, hopes they have a good day at school, what kind of activities they're up to, and they go about their day, you know, give them high fives and everything. But, you know, it's always the psychotic ones who are nice sometimes, but, you know, I think I need to do a highest video. Yeah, I think I'll do a video on the highest himself because the freaking acting is amazing in this show. Look, guys, for real. I know when it comes to these Tyler Perry shows, it's easy to go in on certain things like the pacing, repetitive dialogue, the acting, the wigs, and all this stuff. But if the person delivering the dialogue, the lines, the personality is good at what they do, you can see past that. Like this kid, Matt, I forgot the last name, the actor. I know he plays on a regular soap opera on, you know, mainstream TV, but also he played Ignacio on the show Ambitions, which I do hope does come back for season 2. His hair obviously did not look like that, but I don't even care. The hair doesn't bother me. Like, honestly, I don't think I've seen anybody like, oh, look at that hair. No, I don't think I've seen any complaints on it, but he just sells the role so well. You know, it's just like, wow, this dude is the messiah of the Rakadushis. So then we go to the hospital. Brian is waiting on his update on Lynn. And I know I mentioned this towards the end of my episode 2 review, that in episode 1, Andrew, I feel like his performance stood out to me a lot. Episode 2, it was the highest. Episode 3, I think that the MVP award for acting had to go to Brian. I might mention other people as the episode goes on, but I think Brian was definitely one of the standouts in this episode. The highest was standing because, trust and believe, the dude is one hell of a motivational speaker. But Turns out that Lynn had PCP, LSD, Valium, and a lot of other things in her system and a lot of bruising. The nurse slash doctor, I forgot the official title of this individual, who really reminds me of Dr. Raston from If Loving You Is Wrong. And did she have red hair? Look, I'm biased towards redheads. I love them, so she's definitely lovable in my book. And she was pretty much grilling Brian about potentially abusing her, you know, saying that, you know, she might need help because of all the drugs she was on. Basically, again, I can understand Brian's point of view. Being confused, insulted, and concerned that, hey, my wife just went through this traumatic experience because she went somewhere she wasn't supposed to, and now you're saying that I'm the one who did it or had some hand in it, and you called the cops. On the one hand, as Brian, I can definitely feel insulted by that, but on the nurse's side of things, she was doing her job. Hard to tell who's. I feel like both were right in their situation, but turns out that they had, and I'm not saying the word, because if I say this word, I might get demonetized. They gave up a child a few years ago. Then it turns out, you know, Lynn had her stomach pumped for all the drugs. Brian is determined to take down the Rakadushis because Mac actually shows up and explains everything to the nurse about what exactly happened and how Brian is clean. Like, he had nothing to do with what happened to Lynn. And the nurse actually has specific questions that she has to ask Lynn, but can't ask Mac. You know, what is it, like patient-doctor confidentiality? Then we have, you know, Brian, and as I said, he's determined to take them down. Now, it's almost like, you know, Spider-Man, when he got his powers, he just wanted to be a wrestler to get money. But then when Uncle Ben died, he decided to fight crime because he was motivated to do so because he had a personal stake in this. This is kind of like how Brian was, where he was one of the best, well, he was the best available agent for this case, but he didn't necessarily not want to take it. It's just that Lynn was reluctant to because of the uprooting his job always causes him to do. But since his wife was involved in this, he definitely wants to take them down. But Mac is right to call him out because of his attitude, and his emotional state will cloud his judgment, causing him to make many mistakes. Then we go over to Andrew and Tally, and she's done. Okay, we get a lot of Tally in this episode in regards to learning more about her. Like, okay, it's very interesting how she was an elder before Ruth. I wonder how that happened. Not to mention, it seems like, you know, she's aware of a lot of things. Maybe she's not taking her doses or eating as much food and water because she knows it's been spiked / drugged. She explains what cleansing is. She uses the R word, which I cannot use due to demonetization. But she pretty much awakens Andrew to everything going on. And this goes back to why Andrew, I feel, is not actually compromised, because Tally, who I feel has come out of her trance, is able to see Andrew is not all in the cult as he appears to be. So, do you know what cleansing means? It means being drugged and taken advantage of. And he's like, wait, what? And she wants to take her daughter and leave. She wants Andrew to help. She wants Andrew to come along with them. Like, felt like, you know, Harriet Tubman and Underground Railroad. I know that's a weird reference to make, but honestly, that's what it feels like if you ask me. So, really, yeah, honestly, yeah, the multitude of Tally scenes are pretty much, you know, us realizing that she's pretty much snapped out of the trance that everyone else is in. She's not as delusional. She's very self-aware, and she wants to get out immediately, especially after the punishment she had to suffer. Then we go over to Daikon, who shows up and, you know, pretty much saying that the highest has an announcement to make, and not only that, the highest wants to cleanse him immediately. He's having doubts, apparently, probably thinking about everything Tally had just told him. It's like, I just love Andrew's delivery. He's like, are you ready to be cleansed? Yes, I'm beyond ready. But then as soon as Tally told him, he's like, are you ready to be cleansed? Yes. Is that hesitation in your voice, Andrew? No, not hesitation. Again, I love the acting in the show. All right, so then we go over to Lynn and the nurse. Talks about when's the last time you had sex with your husband. Was it rough sex? It was last night, but it was not rough. You have bruises on the inside of your thighs. Turns out the fact that she was taken advantage of by the cult because she was on that stuff. And the fact that, you know, she was given micro doses, but she had a lot of things in her, like mushrooms and marijuana. It was a lot of stuff. Basically, Lynn became a petri dish of many drugs. Thankfully, she did not have the you-know-what that's going on in the world today. Once again, I can't say that C word due to demonetization. But yeah, basically, she didn't feel like she was being taken advantage of because of the journey she was on. So she brings up the specific kit that could test her to see if she was abused. But she said, wait, she said she didn't want Brian to know. So Brian is unaware of what happened specifically. But I don't know if the case was actually utilized, because the doctor did say, hey, if we use it, your husband wouldn't have to know. So who knows? Then Andrew, I believe, catches the highest, cleansing the young boy who was, you know, being sacrificed for the Tally screw up. And then Andrew sees it and vomits. And then, are you okay? Look, in episode 1, I couldn't stand Daikon, but I just love how this dude pops up at the most random times. Like, what's going on over here? Like, I'm sorry. It's like, I'm just still. Are you not feeling well? No, that's not it. I'm still getting used to the afternoon dosage. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I honestly don't even know how I would react if I were him. I'm sorry. I'm having too much fun doing this. Okay. So he tells him, hey, we're having a meeting in the pavilion. The highest has an announcement, and if I'm not mistaken, Andrew goes off, and I think Daikon watches what Andrew was running off from. Okay. So I think Daikon is getting more suspicious with every episode. Brian goes in to see Lynn, make sure she's okay. Like, hey, where are the bruises? And obviously she doesn't want him to know exactly where the bruises are. So, hey, I was running and I fell. They're on my knees and my legs, but I'm doing fine. I want to get out of here as soon as I can. And yeah, Lynn went to the compound on her own accord, because after looking at the files of everything going on, she didn't want to just be on the sidelines. So then we go over to Ruth and Tally. She's getting ready for the ritual of the elders, and once again, Tally's just telling the truth. Hey, you know what I mean? You're going to be gang assaulted by these dudes. He doesn't love men. Look, I don't want the food, and you should take your kid and leave. She tells Ruth that she needs to see the truth, and when it comes time for the elder ceremony, don't have the mother prepare your food. Do it yourself. And what will happen? We're both going to end up killed by the end of this. Yeah, Tally, you definitely foreshadowed it. And if you watch the Oval, you know what I'm talking about here. And Ruth is delusional. She says the highest is generous, loves everyone. They are his chosen. And when Tally says he doesn't like women, Ruth doesn't want to hear anything about it. And she wants to. And here's my thing. Okay, Tally, I get it that Ruth is your girl and everything, but you can just tell that she's clearly not believing you right now, because basically she's the Flash. And, well, no, she's Flash, and Tally is Eddie Kane. It's like, you just trying to take my spot, but you ain't going to see it. I see you on the side stealing my booze. You ain't going to do nothing. There's only one Eddie Kane. Dang. Nights like this, I wish raindrops would fall. Nights like this. Look, I would put that clip in there, but considering they are lyrics to the song, I don't know if I'll get flagged for copyright on it. So trust and believe, I really wanted to put in the 5 heartbeat scene there, but I was iffy on copyright. Keep that in mind. So in any case, my thing is this, Tally, if you want to leave and everything, you better not tell it to the current elder. It's kind of like when you're friends with a coworker, but then they get, you know, bumped up to like supervisor or whatever, and you really can't talk to them the way you used to, because then they'll snitch or something like that. Tally pretty much made that mistake right here. So after Ruth goes out of the room, she is talking to like the eldest mother. I think that's her title. But basically, it's like, look, I need to talk to the highest. I ain't talking to you. I'm an elder now, so I'm going directly to him. Oh, it's like that, huh? Well, he's getting ready for an announcement. Okay, fine. After the prophecy, I'll tell him everything that, you know, he needs to be told. So then we have Brian and Lynn on their way home. Brian notices that Lynn is a bit off, but, you know, she's pretty much abrasive. It reminds me of the episode of In the Heat of the Night when the the black character, the black detective. I forgot his name because I haven't watched the show in a while. When his wife, played by Jo Marie something, she was assaulted in one episode, and then she temporarily left the series for a while. It was kind of like that, you know, where Brian wants to comfort his wife but doesn't know what's wrong because, again, he doesn't know that Lynn was taken advantage of. So, yeah, she's easily agitated, and, yeah, they just have an awkward ride home. Then we go to the highest, who gives one hell of a speech about being chosen and how the white man is trying to take it away from... It wasn't even like a Malcolm X or Martin Luther King speech. It was just something that... Dude, this guy's a psychopath, but he plays the role pretty well. Tally is shamed. Ruth is, you know, given a full bounty. We learned that, you know, she was on drugs before the cult. She was a prostitute. Women are not as smart as men in the cult. Yeah, know your place, woman. And the cops are coming to Mars, so as he's finishing up his speech, you know, the cult members are like removing the drugs, hiding the weapons, pretty much making the place a legitimate compound, so to speak, for the sheriff, who will probably bring more cops with him to check everything out the next day. So with that being said, what will I give this episode? I think 8 out of... Yeah, I think episodes 2 and 3 get an 8 out of 10. I think that I liked episode 2 more than episode 3, but that doesn't mean episode 3 was a bad episode. Yeah, I can't say it enough. The acting and the show itself is moving at a decent pace. I do have 2 concerns, but they are mainly continuity to the Oval, and I don't feel like it's the right time for that particular video. I think I need to wait a couple more episodes. But other than that, I think we're in for quite a ride. Believe it or not, the funny thing is, this show is called Ruthless, but Ruth feels more like a background character than the main character, which is not a bad thing. Because Ruth, to me, is kind of like a link between the Oval and Ruthless. And it feels like we're getting a lot of world building around her, because guess what? In the Oval, I honestly didn't care too much about episode 1, where we focused far more on Nancy's household rather than the first family. But here we are in the Ruthless series, where Ruth is the titular character, but I'm actually enjoying the Lynn and Brian, you know, storyline, as well as the different arcs within the compound. So this is a pretty good show. I'd highly recommend it. No pun intended to the highest. But yeah, guys, for real, check out BET Plus. I believe some of the cast members have been saying, hey, it's a 7-day free trial. So yeah, with that being said, 7 days. Strategy here, maybe you want to wait until the next episode comes, and then you can start your free trial, and then you can watch all 4 without it. Well, no, even if you get your free trial today, you can still watch the first 3 episodes and episode 4 when it comes out. Or if it is a 7-day free trial, then you can wait until Thursday to get your free trial. Watch the first 3 episodes and episode 4. Then your free trial will end on the same day episode 5 comes out. So whichever way you want to do it, I just recommend going to watch it as soon as you can. So once again, guys, this rounds out my episode reviews for the first 3 episodes of Ruthless. I got some theory discussion videos I'll do later on, either today or tomorrow. They're pretty good, in my opinion. They're pretty good questions to ask. And yeah, I've already done my social media plugs towards the beginning of the video. So with that being said, I'll catch you all next time.